We now have a fully stacked Space Launch System rocket sitting inside the Vehicle Assembly Building at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. This Mega Moon rocket is set to take the first spacecraft specifically designed to eventually send people to Earth's closest celestial neighbor as early as 2022. While Artemis 1 won't fly people on its first flight, it'll pave the way for a crewed Artemis 2 mission in 2023. However, a lot of work remains to be done. Hey, this is Derek with Orbital Velocity. Before going forward, I want to take a quick moment to welcome all of my new subscribers and thank everybody for leaving comments and engaging in live streams. I sincerely appreciate it. And if you'd like to take a couple extra steps to help support Orbital Velocity, there's a link to my Patreon page in the description below. And while you're at it, be sure to share this video and launch that like button into orbit. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. Now let's all geek out over this massive rocket that's designed to help humanity return to the moon in just a few short years. Since late last year, engineers with NASA's Exploration Ground Systems have been working diligently to stack the entire 98-meter-tall Space Launch System inside High Bay 3 of the Vehicle Assembly Building. All of the pieces are being assembled on the mobile launcher, which includes hold-down mounts and a massive 108-meter-tall launch umbilical tower that allows for the servicing of the rocket while at Launch Complex 39B. Stacking started with the assembly of the twin 5-segment solid rocket boosters between November 2020 and March 2021. Then in May of 2021, the massive 65-meter-long, 8.4-meter-wide orange core stage was transported to Kennedy Space Center and into the VAB. This monster tank includes 4 Space Shuttle-era RS-25 engines at its base. After arrival and final checkouts, it was moved from the VAB's transfer aisle and into High Bay 3 to be attached to the twin solid rocket boosters. Over the course of the summer, engineers added the launch vehicle stage adapter, then the interim cryogenic propulsion stage, before adding an Orion stack mass simulator for vibration tests. When those tests were finally completed in September, the mass simulator was removed and the Orion stage adapter was added. This part also included various small secondary payloads that are scheduled to be deployed while the vehicle is heading toward the moon. Finally, on October 19, 2021, the Orion stack, which includes the capsule, the service module, and the launch shroud panels, as well as the launch abort system on the top of the stack. This stack was assembled over the last several months and was rolled from the Launch Abort Systems facility to the nearby VAB. It was rolled into High Bay 4, where it was lifted up and over the transfer aisle into High Bay 3, where the Space Launch System is located. A soft mate with the rocket was confirmed on October 20th. This milestone marks the completion of the Artemis 1 SLS stack, the first finished human-rated moon-bound rocket inside the cavernous building since the end of the Apollo program in 1972. While Artemis 1 is to be an uncrewed flight, it'll pave the way for humans to fly to the moon on Artemis 2 a couple of years later. A lot of work remains, however, to ready this massive vehicle for its mission to the moon. The whole stack, including the rocket and the mobile launcher, will first need to be rolled via a crawler transporter some 7 kilometers away to Launch Complex 39B for pad fit checks and a wet dress rehearsal. That is expected to happen sometime before the end of this year. After the wet dress rehearsal, the stack will be rolled back to the VAB, where it will be readied for the Artemis 1 mission, which is currently expected to fly in early 2022. When it launches, it'll send the Orion spacecraft into a distant retrograde orbit around the moon before returning to Earth via a Pacific Ocean splashdown roughly a month later. Once Artemis 1 is in the history books, Artemis 2 will begin to take center stage. Already the European service module and Orion capsule for that mission are at Kennedy Space Center for final construction and launch processing. Additionally, the core stage for the second SLS rocket is well into construction at NASA's Michoud Assembly Facility in New Orleans. NASA has yet to name a crew for Artemis 2, but it is expected to include 3 American astronauts and 1 Canadian astronaut. Artemis 2 is expected to see Orion and its occupants sent on a free return trajectory around the moon, lasting just under 2 weeks, likely sometime in 2023. While a lot is still in flux because of budget constraints and pending lawsuits over the human landing system, the current plan is for Artemis 3 to launch 4 astronauts into a near rectilinear halo orbit around the moon. There, it'll meet up with SpaceX's Starship-based human landing system to perform the first human moon landing in more than 50 years. The original goal was for Artemis 3 to happen in 2024, but that is all but certain to not occur on time. A more likely timeline may be a lunar landing in 2026, however. So are you excited to finally see this rocket stacked? And when do you think it'll actually launch? Put your guesses in the comments down below. As we all know, SLS has been long delayed since the program officially started in 2011. It was supposed to first fly in 2017, but budget constraints and technical problems have plagued the program. But now, with the commercial space industry aiming to take a larger role in the Artemis program, it's looking like SLS and Orion will have plenty of help in the goal of creating a sustainable human presence on and around the moon. Now that is Team Space at its best. If you want to learn more about the SLS rocket, be sure to click this video right here. And if you want an overview of the current Artemis program plan as of 2020, click right here. Finally, be sure to follow Orbital Velocity on Twitter and Facebook. You can also visit orbital-velocity.com for even more space-related content. Links are in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, ad Astra.